All right, so 2022's Ticket to Paradise is directed by Ol Parker, written by Ol Parker and Daniel Pipsky, stars George Clooney and Julia Roberts as David and Georgia Cotton, who are a divorced couple who find out that their daughter Lily, played by Caitlin Dever, is getting engaged to a guy named Gide in Bali. Gide being played by Maxime Boutier. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. Also in the cast here, we have Billy Lord as Wren Butler, the best friend to Lily. And that actress is actually the daughter to Carrie Fisher, who a lot of people know as Princess Leia. And yeah, I've seen her in some stuff. She was in one season of American Horror Story, which I never finished that season, but I thought she was pretty good in there. Definitely held her own. And then since then, I feel like I've seen her in a lot of comedies and really nothing else. The last thing I can think of that I've seen her in was Booksmart from 2019, directed by Olivia Wilde, I believe. And she actually starred in that with Caitlin Dever as well. I wouldn't say Billy Lord was like the star of it, but she was in the cast and played a pretty prominent role. But that was a really funny movie, and seeing them together in here, I thought that was really fun. But yeah, for the most part, her character is just kind of the one that likes to party and get drunk. So a lot like her character in Booksmart, but she has her moments, like a lot of people in this cast actually. But the real main cast here is Maxine Boutier as Gide, George Clooney, obviously, Julia Roberts, Caitlin Dever, and Billy Lord. Everybody else is just kind of off to the side a little bit. It's mainly focusing on the divorced couple here, focusing on the new couple, and then a little bit on the friend, but she's just more off to the side too, I guess you could say. But Lucas Bravo in here plays Paul, which is the boyfriend to Georgia Cotton in this film, and I believe he's French. He's a very annoying character. I can't stand him at all. For the most part, he seems like a nice guy, but he just annoys the hell out of me in this movie for sure. But yeah, basically, you have Georgia and David finding out that their daughter is engaged after just meeting this guy. So they head over to Bali for the wedding, and they plan to sabotage the wedding and split them up. Basically, the way they explained it is Trojan horse style. So coming in, pretending like they're completely fine with it, and sabotaging things in the background. Um, at times, it makes their characters seem super petty and just awful, especially with David. It seems like a lot of the bad stuff that people do in this movie really comes a lot from him, in terms of like, the main couple sabotaging the wedding and whatnot. It seems like a lot of the really bad stuff came from him mostly. There were times where he was talking to Gide about how their marriage wouldn't last, and honestly, he was just projecting his own feelings on him, if we're being completely honest there. But you can kind of see where the parents are coming from here, because yes, Lily just met this guy and they're already engaged. Yes, she's in a different country. Yes, she's still young. She just got out of college. She's about to become a lawyer, and that's basically throwing all that away. And also, from their own experience, they know that typically stuff like this doesn't end well. So, for all those reasons, you can kind of understand where they're coming from. But for all those reasons, also, like their own experiences, you can tell that it's just all because of their experiences that they're so against their daughter being happy, really. And over the film, they learn and adapt and change and become better people. And it's very predictable. This is a very predictable movie, extremely predictable. In fact, when I saw the trailer, I knew exactly what kind of movie this would be, and pretty much everything I thought would happen did happen. But sometimes those types of movies aren't always bad, and I did have a lot of fun with this one. Is it the funniest movie I've seen this year? I don't think so. But there were a few moments in there that really did make me laugh. Again, with George Clooney's character, there's a lot of moments with him particularly, even though he is the one that kind of says the more hurtful shit towards Gide, I will say. And at first, with Gide, I was like, I don't know about this guy. They just met. There's some kind of sketchy shit about him. I don't know. Maybe not sketchy shit, but I was just like, I don't know. We don't know this guy. You know, there might be a big twist, and he might be like, I don't know, running a drug ring or something like that out of Bali. Like, who knows? But it isn't that crazy of a movie. This isn't The Lost City with Sandra Bullock or anything like that. Like, it's a very simple story, and it's something that it feels like it's been done before so many times. But in here, it's made better because of Julia Roberts and George Clooney. I think Caitlin Dever is also really good in this movie. Everybody in this movie does a really good job, but obviously George Clooney and Julia Roberts are the big standout here because with such a simple movie like this, like it's such a typical romantic comedy kind of movie. It's really typical. But having these two all star actors who not only have worked together before, but just have really great chemistry on screen, amazing chemistry. Like they're fantastic in this movie. Which, if I'm remembering correctly, weren't they technically siblings in the Ocean's movies? Yeah, that's a little sus, but no. Um, but yeah, I really did like George Clooney and Julia Roberts in this movie. Both of them had sequences in this movie where they were just talking, and they didn't cut. It wasn't trying to be like, all right, now on to the next scene. Like they gave them a solid like minute and a half to like say a full thing and tell a story. One moment with George Clooney kind of telling Billy Lord's character about how everything went down with his house and his marriage and all that, and kind of what led him to where he is. And that was a really amazing scene. Like it had really great writing in that scene, which makes me wonder like which writer kind of wrote those scenes because a lot of this movie is the very predictable type of rom com that you come to expect. But there's aspects in here that are really surprising for a movie like this where you do have those two main characters giving really great monologues, one of which with Julia Roberts actually brought me to tears. In fact, I'm not too manly to say this. This movie did make me cry. A lot of movies do, typically, which is why I'm worried to watch Black Panther 2 because I feel like I'm going to be a wreck, but still going to see that for sure. Um, but yeah, this movie did like tug at the heartstrings a little bit for me at least with certain moments. I don't want to get into like too many details for the people that haven't watched it, but just mainly towards the end, there's certain things that happen that really made me tear up and made me emotional. For the most part, you know, I guess this is a bit of a spoiler to say, but you know, this isn't a Marvel movie. Spoilers aren't a huge deal, but happy moments, happy tears. So it's heartfelt, kind of fun, and I mean, it's good for what it is. It's not a bad movie at all, and it's not like a great movie, not the best movie I've seen all year, but you know, it has a blooper reel at the end in the credits. That's the kind of movie this is. But like I said before, it does have those surprising couple of monologues from the two main characters that kind of separates it from other types of rom coms like this. Because this movie does follow a formula, but it mixes it up a little bit, and I think it does it pretty well. So there you go. Not a super long review, but I wasn't expecting a super long review for this movie. There's only so much you can say about rom coms and comedies in general with a simple plot like this, but still a fun movie. I would recommend checking it out. Maybe not, you know, $9 ticket checking it out at the movie theater or anything like that. Wait for it to come on streaming. But if you're really dying to see it, go ahead, watch it in the theater. I think it'll be a fun experience either way. It's a fun movie. And especially after Halloween for me, like watching all those horror movies and then me having posted my Terrifier reviews and watched that recently, I'm just like, I need something to laugh at. Weird Al didn't quite do it for me, but this one, I think, gave me that simple plot and just simple humor and just kind of tugged at the heartstrings a little bit in a few moments. And it did enough to kind of get me out of that scary time. But I still love horror movies, so it's nothing. But kind of got me out of the spooky season and also made me a little less paranoid and making me not want to look over my shoulder for a Michael Myers. So yeah, fun movie overall, definitely. I think overall I would give this a 7 out of 10, which honestly, if you watched any of my reviews, you'll know that I give most movies a 7 out of 10. It's kind of my middle ground for a movie that's not groundbreaking, but still fun and enjoyable. So that's what I would give this movie. Am I going to be rushing back to watch this? No. Am I going to watch this movie again? Possibly, but with the amount of movies I watch, and I try to watch new things pretty much every time I watch a movie or show, it's very rare that I rewatch stuff. And if I do, this is probably not the type of movie I'd rewatch. But hey, that's just my opinion. Have you seen Ticket to Paradise? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you in the middle? I'd love to know. Comment down below. Have you not seen it? Are you planning on watching it in the theater or waiting on streaming? Tell me why or why not. I'd love to know that as well. Really comment down below with anything. And if you have a recommendation for a movie or TV show you want me to do a review for, I'll try to get to it. I recommend I recommend recommending me movies more than TV shows because movies are less commitment. So if there's a movie out there that you want me to watch and I think that I could fit it into I wouldn't say I have a tight schedule or anything like that, but there's a lot of movies that come out and a lot of TV shows that I try to catch up on. So if I can fit it into my schedule and watch it and put a review out for it, and if I feel like it's something that'll do relatively well on the channel, then most likely I'll probably do that. But I don't mean to sound picky, but at the same time, if I'm going to watch a movie and put it out on the channel, I want it to try to do a little bit well. So it makes sense, right? But thank you all for watching. Leave a like on the video, comment as I said before, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. And I'll be back in the next video to review a movie or TV show. Not sure which one yet. I might be going to the movies tomorrow as of recording this, so who knows. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.